Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about Monday Night Football. The 49ers take on the Arizona Cardinals in Mexico City, Estadio Azteca, Mexico City. Finally got that one right after around 17 tries. Edit, delete, record, not record. So, hey, it's Monday morning. We're on the fast track to Thanksgiving. It's a few days away, whether you celebrate it on Wednesday night, the actual day on Thursday, or you fly home or people fly in and you do it over the weekend. Friendsgiving, families, whatever you got. It is a special occasion in my book. But before I get into the football game, some of my favorite players and some weird ideas that we're going to run with here, make sure you go to the website at Team Riser Fall. When you get there, you can use promo code Beastie. Remember the however you want to do it. Use promo code Beastie. The key will unlock everything that you need here at Team Riser Fall and a voucher that rolls over to Fantasy Cruncher, and you can crunch lines until your heart's content. Plus, the Discord is also free, but we have coaches that speak, 15, 20 minutes before lock on all the sparts. NBA is running hot right now. The NHL is finally off and running a month and a half into the season, and the last game of week 11 in the NFL season schedule, however you want to put it. All right, let's talk about the football game, shall we? As I said, San Francisco takes on the Cardinals. In this one, from my point of view, right? Yesterday we got together, we talked about the 49ers and the Chargers. I thought that was going to be a very good, exciting game, and it was absolutely unbelievable. Travis Kelce went crazy. Like, what was it, 20, 30 seconds left in the game, he scores his third touchdown, and it was like, this is what we've been waiting for in a primetime game, and it's going to be a major bummer when we see this game, because I have San Francisco to win very easily, convincingly, I will say, but we'll save the final score to the end here. As I was getting at, for the 49ers are 5-4. We know they have Christian McCaffrey, and he's been great, right? And they rank 5th in the league, actually, Arizona in scoring, or Arizona ranks 5th in the league in scoring defense, 18.1 points a game. So when we look at Arizona, they've dropped 4 of their previous 6 games. They ranked 3rd worst in the league in scoring defense, 25.8 points a game. And Sunday, last week, no Kyler Murray. Are we going to get him this week? Everything I found, I didn't even put projections in for Kyler Murray because I just don't think he's going to play. If I have to pivot later today, I will make sure everybody knows of it. So it looks like Colt McCoy is going to be active again, starting quarterback for Arizona. Let's talk about the players. We're 3 minutes in, and again, I'm going to try. Why do I say this every time? I can't believe no one's ever, made fun of me. Well, you say it's going to be 5 minutes, and then 20 minutes later, here we are. This one, we're going to try. I'm going to keep trying. If you keep watching, I'm going to keep trying. And one of these days, we're going to get it right. So let's start at the top. Jimmy Garoppolo, 14.5 on FanDuel, 9.6 on DK, and he's $27 on Yahoo. One thing you love here is the DVP matchup. Arizona's 28th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. I have Jimmy G, 20 plus completions. Let's call it 21 or 22 for about 250 yards and a pair of touchdown passes. He is a nice move today or tonight, however you want to put it. And to be fair with, Debo and Ayuk and CMC and James Conner and all these guys, boom, 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 DeAndre Hopkins here, I think Jimmy G is a nice little play. And how can we say the starting quarterback on a single game slate who's 14.5 on FanDuel is going to be a sneaky move? But I think he is. How long have we played DFS or sports betting, and we've completely faded Jimmy G, yet he's on the sidelines at basketball games, and just groups of cheerleaders are coming up to him. Jimmy G is a fantastic move tonight, and we will move on. When we look at Kyler or Colt McCoy, any way you slice it, I don't want a piece of either one of them here, given the San Francisco 49ers DST against opposing quarterbacks. They're 9th overall, and I feel like after some solid work here tonight, they could get into that top 6, that top 7 after they produce here tonight. Let's talk about Colt McCoy briefly. 14 grand on FanDuel, 9.4 on DK, and $20 even on Yahoo. I have Colt McCoy just a ton of work, but I don't know how much it cashes in. I have Colt McCoy 26 completions. Wild, right? 270, passing yards and a touchdown. A couple carries moving the chains for $10 here. I did say, I tweeted out Monday morning that I had this weird dream, and I'm not kidding, not fooling around, but I had this weird dream that the Cardinals DST the San Francisco DST scored a defensive touchdown, and it was Colt McCoy. I can't remember if it was a pick six or a strip sack fumble. So to me, all hands off Colt McCoy here in a pinch, right? But in a pinch, he's 14 grand on FanDuel. I'm all good. And on DraftKings, he's still a little bit too high. And I'm not even going to start about Kyler Murray. $16,000 on FanDuel, 11-2 on DK. Not much I like from the opposing team, from the Arizona Cardinals quarterback room in this one. As we go down, we'll talk about the running backs. We'll keep this one short and sweet. Christian McCaffrey, Eli Mitchell, James Conner, or the young kid Keontae Ingram. So of the 4 or 5 of them, obviously CMC has to garner our attention here. Arizona's 21st overall against opposing running backs. Christian McCaffrey, 16.5 on FanDuel, 11.4 on DK, and $40 on Yahoo. I mean, anytime touchdown, that's a check mark. He will score. I'm thinking 14 to 15 carries, 60 to 65 yards, and around 5 to 6 receptions for an additional 40 yards. So to me, Christian McCaffrey is literally a lock for over 100 all-purpose yards and is a lock for a touchdown here, and we'll keep it moving. Ton of money it costs to play him here, but it's going to be worth every penny per usual. The one kid that I like is a little bit of a pivot is Elijah Mitchell. When we look at him, 8.5 on FanDuel, 5.8 on DK, and only $19 on Yahoo. With Christian McCaffrey there, I mean, Eli was their running back, right? And Jeff Wilson was around. But Eli, second-year kid, showed some flashes that we know this kid can handle the targets and touches. And maybe Eli, behind Christian McCaffrey, that's okay, right? When we look at Eli, I do believe he can handle anything that the San Francisco offense gives him, however you want to put it. I have Eli Mitchell, 10 carries, 45 yards, something along those lines, and a couple receptions around 10 to 12 yards. Eli Mitchell to me is in my core, right? He's highlighted in pink. I'm kicking off this video with Eli Mitchell as one of my personal favorites in a GPP, a large cash pool, however you want to put it. As we move down the list, James Conner, 11 grand on FanDuel, 8.6 on DK, and $16 on Yahoo. Truth be told, I wouldn't play James Conner with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't use James Conner in your line if you gave me the money, because San Francisco is first. They are very good against opposing running backs, and we've seen James Conner's propensity of getting these nagging soft tissue injuries, or first drive of the game, he tweaks an ankle or a knee and he's on the sideline with not with his helmet, kind of like Mike Williams was last night, and that is the most frustrating thing in the world. So I'm going to fade James Conner in favor of Keontae Ingram. Briefly, James Conner, he's averaging, I believe, last I looked, 3.5 yards a carry. It's kind of, that's not good, right? It's not good. I'll just leave it at it's not good. Same thing tonight. 15 carries, 50 yards. That's a 3.5 yards a pop average. I'm good. I love the idea of Keontae Ingram. 7.5 on FanDuel, 2.6 on DK, and $11 on Yahoo. That's beautiful. And I have in my notes. I did these last night. I fine-tuned them this morning. Keontae Ingram, 5-6 carries, 20 to 25 yards, a couple receptions for another, 10 to 15 yards here. I think that there's a case to be made here where James Conner, as I said, 15, 16 carries, he's just going to be pounding the ball, running into a wall, averaging 3 yards a carry. I mean, that stinks. I like the idea of Keontae Ingram just getting in this game in spots and eating up a couple, chunk yardage plays while James Conner kind of softens him up. They put in Ingram at 2nd and long, 3rd and long, however you want to put it, in the San Francisco DST. It's not that they're going to hold up, but they're going to be standing up straight when the ball is hiked because maybe they're gassed. They've been stopping Conner all night, and Ingram will find his way around this DST a few times. So again, right now, the secondary options at running back, Eli Mitchell and Keontae Ingram, check and check. When we look at the wide receivers here, coming up on 9 minutes, what can you do? Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, those are the only 2 wide receivers I think that are palatable, or however you want it. Those are the only 2 talking points in this one. Deebo, 12 grand on FanDuel, 8.2 on DK. On Yahoo, Deebo is $20. When we look at Brandon Ayuk here, 11.5 on FanDuel, 7.6 on DK, and he's $21 on Yahoo. Well, I circled this. Brandon Ayuk is $1 more on Yahoo than Deebo Samuel. Just a little food for thought, something like that. Deebo, 7-8 targets, 4-5 receptions, 70 yards, and 2 to 3 carries for another 15 yards. When we look at Ayuk here, 6 targets, 4 or 5 receptions for about 60 yards. When we look at the Arizona DST, they're okay. They've always been good in the secondary. They have some speedsters and ball hawks in the secondary. Right now, they're 13th overall against opposing wide receivers. Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod, no real interest. Of the two, I could see, running a lineup, as a pivot with Juwan Jennings. 2-3 targets, a couple receptions, and about 15 to 20 yards. Maybe one chunk play, right? He catches a pass for 37 yards or something weird like that. When we look at the Arizona wide receivers, it's a strange place because right now DeAndre Hopkins is the king. He is the best wide receiver on this team, but he's got a questionable tag. I do think he plays, right? When you look at Hopkins, he's a gamer. He missed, 6 games of the season for, a PED offense. He's back and better than ever. D-Hop, $15,000 on FanDuel, $10,400 on DK, and $30 on Yahoo. So far, so good. D-Hop's been averaging around 11.2 yards a reception. I have him double-digit target, 10 or 11 targets, 8-9 receptions for about 85 yards and a touchdown, whichever way you slice it. So to me, DeAndre Hopkins kind of have to make plans where if we're going to play this game, 2 locks, Christian McCaffrey and DeAndre Hopkins, you're like, thanks, Chris, for watching this video, and you're telling me what I already know. Well, as I said, CMC and DeAndre Hopkins, but we're going to mix and match Eli Mitchell and Keontae Ingram. Just a little beastie flavor in that one, if it makes sense. Rondale Moore, AJ Green, Robbie Anderson hasn't done much. Of all of them behind DeAndre Hopkins has to be Rondale Moore. 10-5 on FanDuel, 6-6 on DK, and only $16 on Yahoo. Rondale Moore, 6-7 targets, 4 or 5 receptions, 55 to 60 yards here. So that's the way I'm going with the Arizona wide receivers. When we look at the tight ends, kickers, and DST, George Kittle to me is an absolute must. I talked about CMC and DeAndre Hopkins. I would prefer George Kittle over all of these guys just tonight only because Arizona, dead last, 32nd overall against opposing tight ends here. Kittle, $10,000 on FanDuel, $7,000 on DK, $23 on Yahoo. After what Kelsey did, yesterday, we know who knew that, tight ends in the league were all like this close-knit group of friends, and they have a tight end university kind of thing that Kittle puts together with Kelsey, and TJ Hawk is hanging out there too. So to me, George Kittle is probably already there in the locker room going, hey, you see what Kelsey did last night? Let's see what we can do to get me involved like that as well, in the nicest way possible. Kittle doesn't strike me as a jerk who's going to cause problems, but give me George Kittle, a lock for a touchdown. Well, I'll say that as well. So him and McCaffrey so far, anytime touchdown bets. And we go down the list. When we look at this thing, who's playing tight end for, Arizona tonight? Is it Trey McBride? Is it Stephon Williams? Who is it here? So to me, I'm fading the tight ends from the Arizona side, but I could see a case. Why not? This is a DFS video. I try and think outside the box a little bit for me and you here. When you look at Trey McBride, $7,000 on FanDuel, $1,000 on DK, and the bare minimum $10 on Yahoo. When we look at the DSTs and the kickers, not much going on. Matt Prater has a robotic leg, for kicking. But get this, people might not care. San Francisco, first overall against opposing kickers. They get up on that line and they jump and they do that backflip and they go crazy against kickers. So therefore, I'm good against all of them. Robbie Gould could make a case, a little bit too high. Most times kickers are like 8.5. Robbie Gould is $9,000 on FanDuel, 4.2 on DK. Not a hard pass, but I'm going to pass on that one. When we look at the DST, after all, we already know where I'm going to go with this one. The 49ers DST is in play big time tonight, just for the fact that Colt McCoy is going to be their quarterback. What are we going to get out of James Conner? Things along those lines. They have no real stud tight end left to play. So not that they're playing with, not that they're playing with broken parts or, they're the walking wounded, walking dead here, but San Francisco, if they're going to do anything of note, this is the time to just start ripping and running and getting it done. And I do believe San Francisco absolutely steamrolls Arizona in this one. Final score, the 49ers win in Mexico, 31-14. Few betting trends. I got like 17 of them, but I'm only going to read about 3 of them. The over, 4-0, Arizona's last 4 games overall. The under has hit in 13 times in San Francisco's last 17 games, and get this one. San Francisco 15-4 their last 19 games on Monday Night Football. So be good, be safe. Let's run with Jimmy G, Christian McCaffrey, who else did I say? Eli Mitchell, Keontae Ingram, and we will move on from there. Let's get together the same time for Thanksgiving. We have 3 big-time games coming up, and I'm going to do a video for each one following suit last year and the previous season. So be good, be safe, enjoy the short work week. I'm only working 2-3 days this week. Hopefully you're doing the same, and we will get together soon. Talk to you later. Bye.